Hi, sorry for the interruption, but this could be something you need to hear. If you felt even a tiny knot in your stomach about AI and your child's future, you're not alone. A lot of parents are wondering the same thing. Will my child be ready for this world? Will school prepare them? Will AI replace opportunity or create it? That's exactly why I've created a new 9 video series for parents. It's calm, practical, family focused, no panic, no jargon soup, no pretending everyone needs to become a software engineer by next Tuesday. Just clear guidance for parents who want their children to grow up confident, adaptable, and ready.
Hi everybody. This could probably be the most important video that I've done so far. If you could give your child one thing, one transferable capability that would serve them across every financial decision they ever face, it would not be a number in a bank account. It would be financial independence. It's the ability to earn, direct, and steward money in line with what they actually care about, without needing someone else to rescue them when it goes wrong. I've spent 23 years teaching kids from grade 2 to grade 10. For 8 of those years, I've run a classroom economy live in my room. More than 500 students have worked in teams and launched more than 104 real businesses, earning real money. Every principle in this guide that I'm about to show you comes directly from my observations. The habits that stuck, the frameworks that scaled, the conversations that changed what children believed was possible for them. Mindset. This is the complete guide to raising a financially independent child from age 8 to 18. It is structured by developmental stage, grounded in evidence, and built for you, parents who want to do this right. Not just once, but continuously throughout childhood. So here's the framework, and why I'm talking about independence rather than literacy. A note on the term financial independence before we begin. I'm not using it to mean retirement at 40 or a specific net worth threshold. I'm using it in the developmental sense, the capacity to make sound financial decisions without depending on outside rescue when it goes wrong. A financially independent adult is not one who never makes mistakes. It's one who has the frameworks to recover, the habits to course correct, and the self-knowledge to understand why the mistake happened. Financial literacy, the ability to understand financial concepts, is a component of that, but it's not the whole picture. I know adults who understand compound interest perfectly still spend impulsively. I know another who avoids investment decisions out of fear, and even one who borrowed money that they had no plan to repay. See, knowledge is not capability. The gap between knowing and doing is where financial independence is actually built. So the guide is structured in 4 developmental stages. We've got foundation, ages 8 to 10, building, which is ages 11 to 13, expanding, ages 14 to 16, and independent practice, ages 17 to 18 plus. Each stage has its own 3 elements: the key concept to introduce, the habits to build, and the conversations to have. Stage 1, foundation. The foundation stage, ages 8, 9, and 10. At this age, 2 things are happening. Children are old enough to manage small amounts of real money, and they're still young enough to form habits without resistance. I call them spongy. Their brains are capable and willing to take on new things. This is the single most important window in the entire guide. What's embedded here stays. So the key concept here is money is a tool, not a reward. For parents, grandparents, or carers, shift the frame from "you earn this because you behaved well" to this money is a resource. Let's learn to use it well. See, pocket money is not a reward for good behavior. It's a financial education instrument. Let's is an important word. It's inclusive, sharing, and supportive. Your kids want to do things together with you. You get buy-in when you use let's learn to use it well, instead of being directive. So, the moment it arrives, it gets split into 3 jars. Spend, save, give. Not later, not when there's time. When the moment arrives, the physical habit of splitting, that's the habit. The research on habit formation is consistent. A habit that requires no decision is a habit that survives. If the 3-jar split is done every single time money arrives, without hesitation, without procrastination, it becomes part of how your child understands money works. This is the single most evidence-backed habit I have observed across 500 children. And a Mr. J top tip for parents, you should do this too. If you haven't done it already, sort out your own habits and be the example. The conversation for stage 1 for 8 to 10-year-olds, what are you saving for? Not, you should save. It's a question, what are you saving for? A specific goal, however small, activates a future-centered orientation that makes saving purposeful rather than an obligation. A 9-year-old saving for a specific thing, it's probably the single most important lesson in the foundation stage. That money is a vehicle for getting what you care about. And the habit that requires no decision is the habit that survives. Stage 2, building. Stage 2, the building stage, is for ages 11 to 13. At this stage, children are capable of more abstract financial thinking. They can grasp how interest is earned. They understand time in a more developed way, and they're beginning to have peer financial experiences, watching friends with money and friends watching them. It's at this age children developmentally start to move from a self-centeredness awareness to comparing themselves to others. The risks of this stage are comparison to others and giving in to emotionally driven impulse. The action opportunity is their first investment experience. So the key concept here is money works while you sleep. Compound growth is the concept for this stage, not as a maths formula, as an experience. Open a savings account that pays interest and let them watch it accumulate. This is the topic for our next video, so don't miss it. But banking small amounts are fine. The experience is in the lesson. A child who has watched $10 become $10.30 and then $10.67 has experienced compound growth. No worksheet produces that. Experience beats everything. The habit at this level now is the weekly money check-in. Just a 5-minute weekly review. What came in, what went out, what's in each jar. The discipline of regular review is the habit that will serve them as adults managing a budget, a business, or an investment portfolio. Build it at 12. It costs 5 minutes a week. We're not raising children, we're raising adults. And your parental obligation is 5 minutes a week to create a self-reliant, financially capable, and confident young adult. The conversation at this stage is, what did you notice about where your money went this week? Part of the check-in is not an instruction, but an honest curiosity. What did you notice? The self-reflection habit, becoming an observer of your own financial behavior, is the precursor to self-regulation. Called metacognition or introspection, it's thinking about your thinking. Patterns become recognizable and then changeable. You can't change what you haven't recognized. You can't change a pattern you haven't recognized. Stage 3. This is the expanding stage. Ages 14 to 16. It's secondary school. The financial landscape for teenagers is genuinely more complex than it was for their parents at the same age. That's you. Buy now, pay later. Investment apps with no minimum balance. Cryptocurrency conversations at recess and lunchtime. Digital payments that make their spending invisible. The temptations are more sophisticated and the feedback loops are faster. Did you know the psychological steps of paying with cash in person versus flashing a card or purchasing online fires neurologically differently in the brain? There is a moment of neurological hesitation at the point of paying cash in person that's not present when you're tapping for a payment or purchasing online. So the teenager's expanding stage is about real-world frameworks and the first experience of earned income. Your key concept here is the cost of debt versus the power of early investment. And the two most important financial decisions most adults make, taking on debt and beginning to invest, are both shaped by what they understand about money at this age. Make both tangible. Show them what a $500 credit card balance costs at 22% interest across 12 months. Then show them what $500 invested at 7% annual growth becomes over 30 years. Both are simple calculations. The impact of seeing both together is not simple at all. So the habit: first earned income and the non-negotiable split. If your teenager has any form of earned income, part-time work, a small service business, creative work sold online, whatever it might be, the split on arrival habit learned from stage 1 must apply here too. And at this stage, the split changes: spend, save, invest, and give. The addition of the investment component, although small, is a habit that becomes permanent. And this is the 4th jar on the children's dashboard on the Financial Adventure Club platform. Money that goes in this jar is never touched. It's left to grow. One day you could borrow against it, which is taxably the most effective way to access it, but that's for another video and another stage altogether. So the conversation have with your teenagers: what would you do with $1,000 right now and why? This is the most diagnostic question in the whole guide. The answer to this question tells you which financial personality type your child is developing, where they need support, and what subsequent conversations are most worth having. You're not looking for the right answer. You're looking for self-knowledge. The most diagnostic question: what would you do with $1,000 right now and why? Then there's stage 4, independent practice. This is ages 17, 18 and onwards. This stage is where the rubber hits the road. Independent practice. Ages 17 and 18, it's the final stage. The goal here is not to teach new concepts. It's to hand over the controls while there's still a safety net. At this stage, the parent's role shifts from instructor to advisor. After this stage, the foundations are set. Practice has become habit, and your child enters an adulthood where never-ending learning and seeking professional financial advice should never end. At the end of this stage, the habit of metacognition, ongoing tracking of their progress, and the development of both earning and investing strategies all build upon themselves with confidence, not fear. This is the ultimate goal of the Financial Adventure Club: to take every young family into tomorrow's uncertain world with the best tools for unlimited financial self-sufficiency. So the key concept at this level is financial self-knowledge. By 18, a financially independent young adult knows their own tendencies. Do I spend impulsively when I'm excited? Do I avoid financial decisions because they make me anxious? Do I have a bias towards saving that makes me afraid to invest? Financial self-knowledge, the ability to observe and name your own financial patterns, it's the final capability, the one that separates and the one that everything else depends on. The habit here now is the annual financial review. Once a year, across every financial account, every income source, every spending category, a full review. Not complicated, a written answer to 3 questions. Category by category. What worked this year? What didn't? What do I want to do differently? And if I don't know, then where can I go to find out? This habit will sustain financial independence across lifetimes. Your family enters into rarefied air where the wealthiest families live, according to your own family's values and beliefs. Conversation here: what do you feel is your relationship with money? The question you're preparing them to answer honestly. The goal of everything in this guide is that when your child is 25 and someone asks them what they know about money, the list is long, the habits are solid, and the self-knowledge is clear. Our relationship with money, or our money EQ, is the subject for another series of videos coming soon. If you want to access these before they go live on YouTube, they'll be in the parent resources on the Financial Adventure Club platform 3 months before they're available to the public. Of the 4 stages, foundation, building, expanding, independent practice, which is the one you feel most confident about helping your child through? And which one feels most uncertain? I'm collecting these responses. The answers will help me know where to put the next guide. Join or start a conversation on the Facebook group. The link is in the description. Next video, I will be looking at setting up your child's first bank account, what to look for, and the celebration that goes along with it. Until next time, see you.